On this video I'm going to make a replacement wheelchair brake handle. Okay, you can see where the old handle is broken and kind of pushed right through. So I'm going to take that off. I'm going to start by drawing the profile. Very simply coming up. And the original is about 60 millimeters or a little less, so I'm going to make it 60 millimeters. And then it's about 23 millimeters in diameter. I'm going to come out on the green axis by pressing the left arrow key. And I'm going to come out 11.5 millimeters. And then down to the green axis and then back just to make a rectangle. Okay, I'm going to round off the top corner to make it a half round dome on top. So to do that I need a guideline, 11.5 millimeters down, and the arc tool, and take the corner off, and then erase the outside edge. Okay, next I'm going to select it all, and then lift it up a little bit. Then I'm going to draw my circle underneath. I'm going to use the up arrow to make it snap to the blue axis. And then again, coming out 11.5 millimeters. And that'll be fine. Now, I'm going to make it a slightly oval. I'm going to triple click on the circle to select it all, and then the scale, and then on the red axis I'm going to scale it down to make it a little bit of an oval. So holding the control key, I'm just going to push it in to about 80% or somewhere around there, just to make it a bit of an oval. Now, sometimes when it's this small, it has a hard time with the geometry of curves at the top. So I'm going to select the whole thing and scale it up 10 times for just a few minutes. So clicking on one of the corner pieces so that it's a uniform scale, I'm going to start drawing up and then put 10 and enter, just to make it huge. Now, clicking the outside of the base of the oval, and then the follow me tool, and then click on the face. It still has a little bit of an odd edge, but I think it's going to be okay. So I'm going to select everything, then right click and intersect faces. That should allow those areas to be cleaned up. And I'm just erasing the extra pieces. There's probably a much better way to do this, but I don't do these enough to worry about it. So I'll just clean it up by hand real quick. Just using the eraser tool and erasing the extra piece of geometry that I don't want. Okay, let's look at it in X-ray mode. It's got a few extra pieces in there still. So let's see if we can select those from outside. Yes. So I'm just selecting them and then deleting. Whoops. Just being careful not to select the whole thing. Okay, and then the surface border, let's find out where that's at. So I can find that out by clicking on it, and then the up arrow, and then enter. And of course it's the bottom, the base piece. Okay, that's fine for right now, because now I'm going to shrink it back down. By going the opposite direction, start pushing in, and 0.1 and enter. And then zoom extents. Okay, now I need the rectangle hole. So we can get rid of this bottom piece now. I need to make the rectangle, it's 4.9 millimeters by 13 millimeters, 40 millimeters deep into it. Tape measure from the green line over. I'm going to go 2.4. Okay, let's try that correctly. Go over 2.4 and enter. And from the red axis, going to come up or down, it doesn't matter. Half of the 13, so 6.5 millimeters, and enter. Now with the rectangle tool, start at the intersection we just made and start pulling diagonally. Hit the up arrow key to lock to the blue plane. Start pulling across, and then I'll type in 4.8, comma, 13. And that'll give the rectangle. Now with the push-pull tool, you can just pull it up until it hits the face. I'm going to do the same with the bottom of it. Now it should just have a square or a rectangle at the bottom of it. Now the push-pull tool again, and then push it up 40 millimeters, enter. So by printing this with a flex material with a low infill, that should give it some give and flex and should fit it nice and snug. So last I'm going to do the solid inspector and the cleanup tool, and everything looks good. Get rid of the extra lines, and finally save and export. So save, then export at the STL. take that off. The new one has a flange on it from printing. Try to pull that off. There it goes. Sometimes you have to cut it off with a razor blade because it's so strong. Okay, and that's with the flange off. It's a nice snug fit. I'm going to try just a little bit of Gorilla Glue on it. Put just a little dab of Gorilla Glue on it. And push that right on. And the same for the other side.